on Vincent Brown. We gave it to a TD and she was on it, and we asked would he read them out, because we knew he had the balls to do it. There was no point giving it to Pat Kenny, right? So we gave it to Vincent. And the politician said that when she gave it to Vincent, he said, I'm going to read out, I don't know if any of you have seen it, unfortunately we have an internet connection here, we normally play it, it's a bit of fun. But the funny thing was, when he took it, he said, I'm going to read these out after the break. See? And it cuts to an ad. And the TV said to me that the minute the ads come on, about 3 floor managers ran on to Vince and said, you're not to read out that list. And he goes, okay. He puts it aside. And of course, the minute he comes back in, he goes, now where's that list? And he starts reading it out. And he starts off, Aberdeen Asset Management, so-and-so Asset Management, Swiss Asset Management, and he keeps going on. And then he goes, Rothschild's Asset Management. And then he goes, and Goldman Sachs, you know what I mean. You see? And Vincent is a good guy. I know you've probably all seen the video clip where he questioned the Troika. It's really interesting. But the important thing about this list of bondholders and why we wanted it released is that in 2008, when the proverbial hit the fan in this country, our government spent, we don't know how much obviously, because nothing is open and transparent in this country anyway, right? But we know they spent an awful lot of money to an advisory team to come over and advise Ireland on the best thing to do. And the advice we got was to pay back bondholders. Guess who was on the advisory group? Goldman Sachs and Rothschilds. Isn't that very interesting? Now you know why Enda Kenny was saying he didn't know who was on the list. And then you can see when he said to the minister, do you want to give a copy of that so Enda can see it? And he said, it's no laughing matter. And Vincent said, you're right, it's no laughing matter. You treat the Irish people like ticks because you're saying you don't know who owns, who the bondholders are. And so like my attitude to that was, if you don't know who they are, stop paying. And whoever shows up at the gates of Dáil Éireann and demands a few bob, well, sure, you owe them the money, pay them. But I mean, so the nonsense, and what really annoys me is they treat us like ticks. You know, this is really annoying. I mean, I don't mind if they just do the lying shit and all that sort of stuff. But please, treat us that we have a little bit of sense. You know, I mean, this is what I hate. So the two guys are going to explain the intricacies of who owes what in Europe. And this will give you some sense of exactly what's going on.
Your name is Roger, yes?
Roger.
Ah, that's your name?
Roger.
Good. And what do you do, Roger?
I'm a financial consultant.
Ah, financial consultant, eh?
Roger,
yeah,
yes.
Terrific. And Roger, how's business at the moment?
Not bad, thank you. Been a bit quiet lately.
How do you mean lately?
Since the war, been a bit quiet.
Fair enough. OK, Roger, your special subject tonight is the economies of the European community. Your time starts now. Best of luck.
Thank you.
How much does Greece owe, Roger?
$367 billion.
Correct. And who do they owe it to?
Mostly to the other European economies.
Correct. How much does Ireland owe?
$865 billion.
Correct. And who do they owe it to?
Other European economies, mostly.
Correct. How much do Spain and Italy owe?
$1 trillion each.
Correct. Who to?
Mainly France, Britain and Germany.
Correct. And how are Germany, France and Britain going, Roger?
Well, they're struggling a bit, aren't they?
Correct. Why?
Because they've lent all these vast amounts of money to other European economies that can't possibly pay them back.
Correct. So what are they going to do?
They're going to have to bail them out.
Correct. Where are they getting the money to do that, Roger?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that one.
How much does Portugal owe?
Hang on a minute. What was the answer to that earlier question?
Just keep answering the questions, Roger. Where is Portugal going to get the money it owes to Germany if Germany can't get back the money that it lent to Italy?
Just a minute. What was the answer to the previous question? The question was, how can broke economies lend money to other broke economies who haven't got any money because they can't pay back the money the broke economy lent to the other broke economy and shouldn't have lent it to them in the first place because the broke economy can't pay it back?
You're wasting very valuable time, Roger. How much money does Spain owe to Italy?
$41 billion, but where are they going to get it?
Correct. What does Italy owe to Spain?
27 billion, but they haven't got it, they're broke.
Correct. How can they pay each other if neither of them has any money?
They're going to get a bailout, aren't they?
Correct. And where's the money coming from for the bailout?
That's what I'm asking you.
Correct. Why are people selling the European currency and buying the US dollar?
Because the US economy is so much stronger than the European economy.
Correct. Why is that, Roger?
Because it's owned by China.
Correct. And very well done. And after that round, you've lost $1 million.
I've lost $1 million. I thought you said well done.
Yes, well done. You've only lost $1 million. That's an extraordinary performance, Roger.
I've only lost $1 million.
Very well done.
And that's quite good, is it?
Oh, it's excellent.
Sell everything immediately. Quickly.
I don't know if that's real or not, because the trouble is none of us know. What I do know is these are two Australian guys, and they might be more well up than we are, because these get these programs that air in Australia that we don't get here, and yet they directly affect us. So it's a bit worrying when you see this, because they seem to be more clued in than our government, and I really mean that. I'm not anti-government and I'm not anti-bank. I'm just anti this corruption mess and feeding bullshit to Irish people, and then you get into government and you promise all sorts of things. I don't want to keep personally on at anybody like Enda Kenny. I genuinely think he's probably a good guy. You know, I genuinely think before he got into power, he probably thought that he had maybe some answers or could stop paying or something like that. I think then when he got in, he was told who really runs the country, and the Holy Trinity or the Troika or whatever you like to call them. They come and they say how it's going to be. And somebody said to me before, but sure, if we don't pay them back for illegal gambling now, because you've seen how it's illegal, you know, there's laws broken. And if we don't pay them back, then they won't put money in our bank machines. And I go, well, let's print our own money. Because that's all they're doing. They're a private corporation printing paper for huge, huge profits. And that's all it is. And you would put the fear of God into the Europeans if you actually told them that you know what it is. It's worthless money. It doesn't say on the euro anymore, promise to pay the bearer off, because it's worthless. It doesn't say, what did he used to say, legal tender or something like that. There's none of these markings on euros anymore. They can't print, it's getting devalued. Claire Leonard will talk later on how quickly the euro is devaluing. We think the prices of stuff are going up. It's quite shocking to see the price of stuff is really not going up at all. It's the value of the euro is shooting down as well as the dollar. So then, when we got into this trouble then and Fianna Fáil were in power, I don't know if there's too much fluoride in the water or something here, but our memory is not good about promises made by the government. And people say to me, well then, you know, why are you only starting now talking about it? Well, the truth about it is, I mean, I was a struggling electrician trying to pay my bills. And I'm a working man, I don't smoke or drink. Not that there's anything wrong with that, I just don't. I'm a family man. And I would work every hour God sent to try and provide for my family. And I find it very, very difficult. So I'm saying to myself, a lot of people must find it difficult then. And the trouble with Irish people is, because we're a proud people who want to pay our way, there's a certain shame attached. And most people don't come out and say it. And that's why we're up to, I think, nearly 4 suicides a day now in this country, because people just do it. Again, I won't mention names, but I met a young man, 18 years of age, who came to me, and he said, can I help them? Receivers moved in on a farm that they had. And I said, yeah, we'll go and talk to the bank, because I have ways of finding out information, because I went public, a lot of people came to me. It's not that I'm a genius, I didn't figure this out. A lot of people just come and say, well, you know this, or you know this. And when you check it out, you find really extraordinary stuff. The idea of them selling the mortgages and not owning the mortgages and still going to court and telling the judge they own the mortgage was abhorrent to me. I thought, like, let's go to court if you want. We'll both tell the truth and let the chips fall where they may. And that's not how court works. Commercial courts have nothing to do with justice. The commercial courts may as well have the Bank of Ireland emblem over them. And that's the truth. And if you ever go to court, you'll see it. And my problem also with justice from commercial courts is that if I'm driving up the road here in Mayo and I have a boot full of cocaine, apart from having a good night out, if I get stopped by the guards, I will get arrested. And the state will afford me whatever legal representation I desire. And if I don't like the legal team I get, I can choose another one. Now, I met a man from Monaghan who came down, and he was so nervous that he didn't go to court, and they found it in favour. They just gave a default judgment. Because when I shook hands with him, you know these men that just real hard little hands from working hard, and he was so ashamed that he couldn't go into court. And he has a judgment order against him now for repossession. And I said to him, did you not even show up in court? And he said, I wouldn't be able to stand up in court or say anything, because when you go in there, if you've never been into the High Court, it's like, not that have been to many Freemason lodges or anything, but it's not like that. It's a very peculiar place. There's men in there with wigs and gowns, and they speak a funny language. It is sort of in English, but it's a different dialect than I understand. And I've seen it several times before that the man just stands there and the judge is shouting at him, but you got the money, you have to pay it back. And you know, we all assume that that's probably a correct statement until you see what was going on in the background that the judges don't even want to listen to. So the man then has a default judgment. His taxes, by the way, his taxes are bailing out the bankers that we're talking about. You know, he worked all his life, so his taxes are bailing these criminals out. His taxes are also paying for the free legal aid that's going to criminals. But when he's there about to lose his family home in Ireland, so now you go into that arena and do it yourself. Now he did approach a barrister, and the barrister said to him, if you can give me €25,000, I'll go and defend you. Right? And he said, if I had €25,000, I'd pay my mortgage for the next 2.5 years and then see where the chips fall then. But that's justice in Ireland. That's what's happening, and we really need to wake up. And I hate when I hear people on radio saying, oh, but these people, you know, they got the money, they signed a contract, so they have to pay it back. Look at it, if it was that simple, of course, we all agree with that. There'd be no argument with that. But in that very simple statement, I say to people, well, what contract did you sign? Did you ever see a contract from the bank? When you went to get your mortgage and you went in to sign the so-called contract, do you ever remember seeing a document called contract? There isn't one. And I don't know why there isn't. Myself and Johnny were talking about this evening. We're unsure why there is no contract, but there isn't one. Now, most people, I don't know how much people know about contract law. In this country, mostly in contract, an offer and an acceptance is okay, and that makes a contract. So if I offer you a bar of chocolate and I say to you, the offer of the bar of chocolate is €1, and you say to me, I'll accept that, that's a contract. So you go into a shop and you see a newspaper for €1, that's on offer. You take, that's the acceptance, and you go to the till and you pay it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But contract law in this country says that for property or land, you must have a written contract signed by both parties. So it must be signed by both parties and binding. And all the people I help, when we do a data request, in other words, you request all your data from the bank. This is the first step that we do for people who find themselves in difficulty. And isn't it amazing, out of the hundreds of people where we requested data, we have never seen a contract from the bank. And then when you think about it, if I'm buying a car off someone, normally the two parties are there and we sign the document, and that's how it works. But when I went to get my mortgage, I went into a solicitor, and he was the same solicitor for the bank. There's only one solicitor. And there's nobody else signing, only me. And all I'm signing is an acceptance. Now, we don't know why that is, but I think it has something to do with the selling of the mortgages on then and stuff like that. I can't be sure. Go to court, you know, the judge says things like, oh, but you got the money and you signed the contract. And we go, well, that's fair enough, Your Honour. Can we just have a look at the contract that we signed? And then there's a big kerfuffle in the courtroom. And they go, well, we can't find it. It's always you can't find it. And I said, well, I found several things. I found my mortgage trading on the stock exchange, Your Honour. What do you think of that?